This conference will now be recorded.
On this clip is to discuss where things can go wrong with a bank valuation. If you're borrowing up to 80% of the property value, lenders will generally just conduct a desktop valuation. That means they look at algorithms, how much the property has been sold for by your neighbors, and give a value to it. It is simple. Most of the time, valuation comes back good, and that's it. But if you're looking at borrowing 90 or 95% of the property value, or if the area you're looking at purchasing, there's very limited sales, the type of property you're buying is unique, lenders can often elect to conduct a full valuation whereby a valuer will physically go into the property and have a look at it. I will just list a few case in point that I've encountered lately whereby there had been problems in securing finance. Now, so you can see here the first example was a client bought a property. Years later, he elects to refinance. This was with Athena, whereby the valuer deemed that the $20,000 renovation to it, whereby there was a second door that was opened up. They call it dual occupancy, and right now Athena do not want to lend. All right, I'm still fighting it right now. So be wary that of this when the full valuation is done, the lenders could conduct a full audit whereby if they find that anything is uncompliant or do not have council approval, even though this is just a $20,000 improvement, the lenders deem that the property is unacceptable for lending purposes. The second one was with Westpac. From 2020 to 2022, we see a lot of strata properties that have cladding issues. They are deemed as flammable. Most of them has been sorted out for now, but I've just come across one lately whereby the client is looking at borrowing 93% as a first home buyer. This was with Westpac. The valuer deemed that, perhaps the cladding issues has not been resolved, and it took me about 3 weeks to resolve the problems with Westpac. So obviously the first home buyers was panicking, borrowing 93%. Loan approval took a long time to come through. The third one, I suspect, was self-inflicted by my client, whereby he did a desktop valuation. This was a property in Perth, and he was not satisfied with the desktop valuation. We just used algorithm. He think that the property was worth a lot more than what the valuation came back at. So he elected to conduct a full valuation. What happens is with the full valuations, the valuer specified that the property that he has was 3 meters to a switchboard, a power switchboard, and as such, the lender did not want to lend a single cent for it, deeming that it is unacceptable security. So be wary. This year, I've come across limited title properties that's been rejected. I've come across properties, in areas that have a strong chance of catastrophic floods, bushfire. They have been rejected by the lender. I've come across issue with limited title properties or properties that are deemed as in an unlivable condition. And these are not issues I could help you rectify when you seek a pre-approval, because when you seek a pre-approval, it's always subject to property valuation. When these sort of problems occur, I would, either dispute with the current lender, or I may just switch lenders immediately, because sometimes it's a hard policy where lenders will not lend for specific properties, and I would just refinance, or I would just switch to a different lender. In this case, with this case whereby the property is 3 meters next beside a switchboard, we sent it to Macquarie Bank and there wasn't any problems. So be wary. I'm not here to tell you how good I am as a mortgage broker, but rather to tell you, to inform you that often things may not go as smoothly as many people would think with a home loan. Thank you very much for your time.